I analyzed every current eBay listing of the 25th anniversary Bandai Art Dark Magician to determine just how widespread its off-centering issue is. If you saw my previous video on the 25th anniversary Dark Magician, you'll know about my hypothesis that the card will be very difficult to grade a PSA or BGS 10 due to its centering issues and corner damage fresh out of the pack. Today, I'm going to take a closer look at the centering of a larger sample of the 25th anniversary Dark Magician to attempt to quantify just how large this issue is. As of March 5th, 2022, there are 81 results found for an eBay search of 25th Dark Magician. 13 of these results were not actually 25th anniversary Dark Magicians, false positives, so to speak. That leaves us with 68 Dark Magician cards for sale to analyze the centering on. After checking out all 68 listings, my main takeaway from this project is that you shouldn't waste your entire Saturday measuring cardboard pictures on the internet. Joking aside, I did learn quite a bit from this endeavor. Before I could assess the centering issue, first I needed to know exactly what I was looking for. PSA's website says that in order to be eligible for a PSA 10, a card's centering must be no worse than 55-45 to 60-40. It's not difficult to find videos of PSA being extremely conservative when it comes to this range, so I'll err on the side of caution and stick with the 55-45 measure. In my experience, this difference is essentially equivalent to the off-centeredness being unnoticeable at a glance to the human eye. If you take a minute to really analyze a 55-45 border, you might be able to tell it's slightly off-center, but in terms of eye appeal, it's essentially symmetrical. For a PSA 9, a card's centering must be no worse than 60-40 or 65-35, all else perfect. This seems to be the range of most off-centered Yu-Gi-Oh cards, although some cards with particularly poor centering, 65-35 to 70-30, will be immediately bumped down to a PSA 8 or worse. I categorized the 25th anniversary Dark Magicians from the eBay listings into 3 separate categories. The first is well-centered, those are PSA 10 eligible. The second is noticeably off-centered, those are more likely to get a PSA 9. And the third is terrible centering, most likely a PSA 8 or worse. But before I get into the results, I'd like to announce this video's giveaway. I'll be giving away a starter deck and tin Dark Magician to one subscriber who comments down below, letting me know their favorite card art for Dark Magician. And if this channel somehow reaches 1,000 subscribers before the end of March when I announce this giveaway, I'll also throw in a 25th anniversary Dark Magician to the giveaway as well. Now let's take a look at my findings of the centering of the 25th anniversary Dark Magician. Out of the 68 total eBay listings, I only considered 15 to be well centered. That's a 22% rate of good centering. Another 29 cards, or 43%, were noticeably off-centered, likely eligible for a PSA 9 at best. And the remaining 24 cards, or 35%, had terrible centering, making their best possible grade an 8. So in total, 78% of the 25th anniversary Dark Magicians in my eBay sample were noticeably off-centered or worse. Now I'll provide a bit of discussion and interpretation of these results. But before I do, I'd like to mention that I do weekly old school Yu-Gi-Oh market watch videos on this channel. So if that's something you're interested in, make sure you subscribe to keep up to date on trends in the vintage Yu-Gi-Oh market. And if enough people subscribe before the end of the month, you'll all have a chance to win this 25th anniversary Dark Magician. Now for a deeper dive into the eBay centering results. The fact that an estimated 78% of the 25th anniversary Dark Magician cards fresh out of the pack have no chance at a PSA 10 will definitely impact the card's price, both graded and raw. I've already been noticing that well-centered copies of the card are selling for more than off-centered copies on eBay. And prices are still lower on websites like TCG Player, where buyers don't have the luxury of seeing a picture of the card that they're purchasing. In terms of the graded market, there's an even smaller percentage of possible PSA 10s due to the pack damage issues I discussed in my prior video. To get a more accurate idea of what these off-centered percentages mean, we need some reference of how off-centered your typical Yu-Gi-Oh card is. Then we can know how much worse the 25th anniversary Dark Magician centering is compared to your average card. Since I don't have the time to look at the centering of every card in existence, I'm just going to go with my gut feeling that 78% of the 25th anniversary Dark Magicians being noticeably off-center or worse is pretty bad. Another factor we have to take into account is any bias I introduced based on how I collected data to measure the centering of the 25th anniversary Dark Magician. Since I only analyzed current eBay listings, we have to be aware of any implicit assumptions that I'm making. For example, maybe owners of well-centered copies of the card are less likely to sell them, which would mean that the pictures on eBay have a disproportionate amount of off-centered copies compared to all of the 25th anniversary Dark Magicians in existence. This could skew my results to appear even more extreme than the actual amount of 25th anniversary Dark Magicians with bad centering. It's important to take this into consideration in addition to any other biases I may not be thinking about. Either way, we'll get a better idea of how the off-centering impacts the grades and prices of cards once we start seeing some returns of 25th anniversary Dark Magicians from grading companies. My prediction is that PSA 10 copies of the card will be extremely hard to come by relative to other rare modern Yu-Gi-Oh cards. I also suspect that there will be tons of copies coming back as PSA 9s, and I bet that those won't be worth much more than a raw near mint copy of the card. And as I've already mentioned, I'm predicting that the raw, well-centered copies of the 25th Anniversary Dark Magician will increase in value over time. I also have to mention, this video is for educational and entertainment purposes only, and I'm not advising anyone to purchase expensive cards that they can't afford. I'm just a guy on the internet who likes talking about playing cards for fun. If you like this type of analysis of the Yu-Gi-Oh market, consider subscribing to the channel. And whether you're a long-term subscriber or you just subscribed today, don't forget to enter today's giveaway by liking the video and commenting down below letting me know your favorite artwork for Dark Magician. And if the channel gets to 1,000 subscribers by the time I announce this video's giveaway at the end of the month, you'll also have a chance to win the 25th Anniversary Dark Magician.